we said earlier, demilitarizing our mindset is first. And we have to commend presidents, because even in the appointments that were made, if you look at the National Security Advisor for a long time, it was a demilitarized person in Malam Nuhun Ribadu, who actually also happens to be a former police officer. Right. Now, this reform, and I'll call it the rebuilding of the Nigerian police force, is something that he takes very keenly, and we're working hand in hand very closely with that office, ONSA office, on how we could actually change this narrative. Now, the training facilities, as you mentioned, UN recommendation standard is for every 400 police officers, for every 400 population, right. one police officer. Yeah. But what we have today with about 370 to 250 million is about 1 to 714. So correct, we're meant to have at least an additional 200,000 if we can. 200,000 21st century police officers we need, meaning modern policing. But how do we tackle that? We have to now start looking into how are they trained, how are they accommodated, what's their welfare like. We need to actually humanize the police officers. They're human beings. So when we talk about it, it's like you look at the training facilities, you look at the barracks, you look at how they've been taken care of. There's no morale. There's nothing that's actually going to boost your performance when it comes to how are we taking care of these police officers across board. So one of the narratives we want to change is how do we do that? And that's why we see in the building of the stations that we're looking at is welfare, taking care of those actual officers that are actually going to discharge these duties. Training facilities, how do we bring them up to standard, modernize them so that we can actually achieve more. They can actually be better performing officers for us. So those are the places that we're looking at on tackling these issues. And one of the mandates of the NPTF, that's the trust fund, is actually resource gathering. We can, which is one of the mandates and one of the things that constitutionally has not really been tapped into, but one of the things we're looking at now is how we can actually raise the funds for us to be able to achieve